This week in Jamaica Now, Dudus Coke free in less than 2 years after another sentence reduction. Parliament's mace row refuses to die. The Speaker scolds.
What occurred was not simply a breach of order by one member. It was a wider challenge to the authority of the chair and the orderly conduct of the House. The mace is not a decoration. It is not a prop. It is not an object to be used in protest.
The opposition MP at the centre fires back.
If I come before you and every day you disrespect me. That's right. Them say one day the bucket bottom I go drop out.
Manchester's murder surge 180% up, even as Jamaica's overall numbers fall.
See people business hardly.
Gospel singer Cukudoo, known for his Dead Yard performances, has died. And I'm Jovan Johnson, and this is Jamaica Now. Jamaican drug lord Christopher Dudus Coke is set to walk free from a United States prison in less than 2 years, after authorities shaved another year off his sentence. The updated release date for the 57-year-old is January 29, 2028, according to the U.S. Bureau of Prisons. It's the second time in 15 months that a year has been cut from his sentence, likely for good behavior, under the U.S. First Step Act. Mr. Coke is serving a 23-year prison sentence imposed in August 2011 after he pleaded guilty to racketeering conspiracy and conspiracy to commit assault with a dangerous weapon. He's held at the Fort Dix Federal Correctional Institution in New Jersey. Popular pastor Merrick Al Miller, a longtime Coke family friend who was driving the former Tivoli Gardens strongman when he was arrested in 2010, told the Gleaner that Mr. Coke has been participating in religious-based programs in prison. Mr. Coke was arrested by the Jamaican Security Forces in June 2010 in fulfillment of a U.S. extradition request. A month before his arrest, Mr. Coke mysteriously escaped his Tivoli Gardens stronghold after 2 days of fierce gun battles between the security forces and heavily armed thugs loyal to him. When the shooting ended, 69 civilians and 1 member of the Jamaica Defence Force were killed in what has been described as one of the darkest periods in modern Jamaican history. The Health Ministry says Jamaica has not recorded any case of the Hantavirus, but is urging the public to remain vigilant as it monitors an outbreak linked to a cruise ship off the coast of West Africa. The ministry says it is tracking reports of cases identified aboard the vessel where several passengers have died and others have fallen ill. More than 24 passengers from at least 12 countries have since disembarked, triggering international contact tracing efforts. On Wednesday, Chief Medical Officer Dr. Jacqueline Bisesa McKenzie said Jamaica's surveillance systems remain strong and there is no immediate cause for alarm.
Just like with COVID, we have the ability to ramp up very quickly in terms of having our own testing because we do have the equipment that can test. It's just for us to bring in the reagents and to do the training of the staff, and we were able to do that very quickly with COVID and with other problems that we've had to manage, so I don't doubt that we will be able to do that in case we do have any problems. So all in all, yes, we are aware of the situation. We certainly are increasing our vigilance in terms of monitoring what is happening. The situation right now is assessed as a low risk, but of course the health team is always ready to respond.
Now, the hantavirus is primarily transmitted through contact with infected rodents or their feces and urine. Early symptoms resemble influenza, fever, chills, headaches, muscle aches and fatigue, and can progress to shortness of breath, nausea and abdominal pain. The World Health Organization has assessed the global risk of spread as low. Health officials in Jamaica are urging anyone experiencing symptoms, particularly after exposure to rodent-infested environments, to seek medical attention promptly. The mace row in Jamaica's Parliament has taken another turn, with the Speaker delivering a pointed rebuke at Tuesday's sitting and the opposition MP at the centre of the storm firing back during her sectoral debate presentation this week. Speaker Juliet Holness opened the sitting by addressing last week's incident in which Southwestern St Andrew MP Dr. Angela Brown-Burke lifted the ceremonial mace from its place. Dr. Brown-Burke was suspended for the remainder of that sitting over her actions. Speaker Holness on Tuesday told the House and the country that the mace is not a decoration, not a prop, and not an object to be used in protest.
What occurred was not simply a breach of order by one member. It was a wider challenge to the authority of the chair and the orderly conduct of the House. The mace is not a decoration. It is not a prop. It is not an object to be used in protest. It is the symbol of the authority of this House. It represents the authority under which we meet, debate, disagree, vote, and make laws on behalf of the people of Jamaica. So when the mace is interfered with, the issue is not simply about an object being moved. The issue is whether the authority of the House itself is to be respected. That is why this moment cannot be reduced to political theatre. It is not about government or opposition. It is about whether this Parliament, which belongs to the Jamaican people, will be allowed to conduct the people's business with order, dignity, and respect.
However, Dr. Brown-Burke, who has acknowledged she was wrong to lift the mace but has not apologized, pushed back during her sectoral contribution. She accused the Speaker of failing to give opposition members a fair hearing.
I am very clear in my mind that every action has consequences. We are leaders. Choice making is what we do every day. We take decisions and we bear the consequences. And so I say to this august body and to my colleagues, I am willing to cooperate with anyone who is willing to treat me as a human being. But there's a line I draw. If I come before you and every day you disrespect me, that's right. Them say one day the bucket bottom I go drop out. I am tired of sitting here, pressing my mic, asking to be to say something, and you don't have even the decency of listening and then saying no. You are none of us here. None is clairvoyant. None of you live in my head. And therefore, even though you think you know me well, you do not know what I am going to say when I press my mic. Give me the courtesy. Accord me the respect as an elected member of this House to be heard. You then have the opportunity to determine whether it is okay or not for me to go ahead.
The government says it will be appealing the landmark Constitutional Court ruling that struck down Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness's decision to override the environmental regulator and grant a mining permit for an ecologically sensitive area of St. Ann. Information Minister Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon disclosed the update at Wednesday's post-cabinet press conference.
We briefly discussed the ruling, and it is my understanding that the Attorney General's chambers, they will be appealing. That's my understanding. In terms of timeline on that, I can find that out and get that back to you. In terms of the implications of it, we've not been able to go through, I know I personally have not gone through the full judgment, and that's not been brought to Cabinet for us to look at what are the implications coming from it. But what I do understand is that from my discussions with the Attorney General is that the ruling will be appealed.
The ruling delivered on April 30 declared unconstitutional the permit granted to Bengal Development Limited to mine in the Dry Harbour Mountains. The court found that Dr. Holness failed to provide credible evidence-based justification for overturning the Natural Resources Conservation Authority's rejection. It said the decision and permit violated the residents' rights to a healthy environment and protection of the ecological heritage. The NRCA and the Forestry Department had objected to the permit, pointing to irreversible damage to the area known for its endemic and endangered plants and animals and groundwater system. The Bengal decision comes as Parliament debates the government's bill to establish the National Reconstruction and Resilience Authority (NARA). The bill grants ministers powers to override regulatory bodies in certain circumstances, a situation critics have expressed fears about. The government insists there are sufficient safeguards. The Senate debated the bill on Friday. A review committee has concluded that the University Hospital of the West Indies is effectively in what it calls an intensive care unit state, crippled by decades of governance failures that have left it financially distressed and structurally dysfunctional. Committee Chairman Howard Mitchell presented the findings to journalists on Tuesday. He described the hospital as an institutional orphan, caught between the Jamaican government and the University of the West Indies, with neither exercising sufficient oversight. Among the most striking structural flaws identified, current CEO Fitzgerald Mitchell does not sit on the hospital's board, but Medical Committee Chairman Dr. Carl Bruce does, even though he reports upward to the CEO. The committee called that arrangement an anomaly that must be eliminated. The report also flagged a tax debt to the tax administration Jamaica exceeding $40 billion and monthly operating deficits of up to $300 million. The committee made 5 recommendations, including reforming the University Hospital Act, last meaningfully amended in 1962, and reducing the 18-member board, which it described as too large and poorly aligned to the institution's financial realities. The committee was appointed by Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton following a damning Auditor General's report. That report revealed $521 million in contracts awarded without essential procurement documentation, systemic breaches of government guidelines, and the misuse of tax exemptions for private companies. The major organized crime and anti-corruption agency MOCA says it is investigating a threatening video targeting staff and students of Stella Maris Preparatory School in St. Andrew. MOCA's Director of Communications, Major Basil Jarrett, confirmed that the agency has received a report concerning the video. The video shows a masked man appearing to be armed with a firearm, making threats against teachers and other individuals associated with the school. The man is also heard making references to $50 million, while at least one other school is allegedly mentioned in the recording. The administration of Stella Maris Preparatory School confirmed that reports were filed with both MOCA and the Office of the Commissioner of Police after the footage was brought to its attention. In an email sent to parents on Thursday, Principal Sister Mary Joseph described the recording as a chilling video that had been shared with the school's administration. She said they could not identify the authenticity of the video. Parents were also urged not to share the video with the children in order to avoid panic and emotional distress among students. Police in St. Thomas have seized more than $400 million worth of cocaine. Acting on intelligence, Tuesday night, officers swooped down on premises in the Landui area. They reportedly found 23 knitted bags containing more than 1,600 pounds of the contraband. 2 Jamaicans have been arrested in connection with the seizure. Police are withholding their identities pending further investigations. Manchester is bucking Jamaica's improving murder statistics, recording a 180% surge in killings, even as the island posts a near 23% decline in murders overall. Up to May 2, the latest police data show the parish recording 14 murders from just 5 over the similar period in 2025. One of the latest incidents was a double murder on May 2 in Farm District, where a man and a woman were shot and killed during a home invasion. Island-wide, the Jamaica Constabulary Force reports 184 murders recorded to May 2nd, down from 238 over the similar period last year. All major crime categories are also trending downward, with shootings falling nearly 33% and robberies dropping just over 20%. Hanover and St. Elizabeth have also recorded increases, while St. James leads all divisions with 24 murders, followed by St. Andrew South with 17. St. Andrew North has recorded just 1 murder so far this year. And 2 former St. Catherine policemen convicted of corruption have been fined $500,000 each or face 3 months behind bars after a court found they extorted $3,000 from a motorist while on duty. Former constables Ramon Booth and Marlon Hamilton, both formerly of the St. Catherine South Division, appeared in the St. Catherine Parish Court on Tuesday for sentencing. Acting Parish Court Judge Janelle Nelson Gale told the men the aggravating factors outweighed mitigating circumstances and that they had betrayed the trust of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. The fines were ordered paid immediately. The 2 were found guilty in February of approaching a driver whose vehicle was being towed along Mandela Highway in August 2023 and allegedly demanding $3,000 to avoid a ticket. Jamaican gospel singer David Kukudoo McDermott, known for his energetic, mento-infused gospel performances and revival-style songs, died on Friday. News of Kukudoo's passing was confirmed in a post shared to his social media pages on Friday morning. One of his last major public appearances was at the Jamaica Labour Party's mass rally in Halfway Tree, St Andrew last August, where the date for the general election was announced. Kukudoo first gained attention singing at Nine Nights, commonly referred to as Dead Yards, after working as a machine operator at the now-defunct Bernard Lodge Sugar Estate. His breakthrough came after an engineer recorded one of his performances at a wake and distributed it on a compact disc. The recording eventually spread across the island, with his popular song King David becoming a staple in taxis and communities island-wide.
See people business on me. Everybody, hallelujah. We have something.
The success launched Cukudoo into a full-time music career, leading to regular performances overseas and appearances on major national stages. He became a familiar figure at the annual Jamaica Independence Grand Gala, where his lively performances and revival-inspired gospel music consistently drew strong audience response. Popular streamer and online personality IShowSpeed arrived in Jamaica on Thursday as part of a regional tour. Fans gathered online and at the Norman Manley International Airport in Kingston. He visited several popular spots in the corporate area, including the Emancipation Park. IShowSpeed, whose given name is Darren Johnson Watkins Jr., gained massive fame through his chaotic, high-energy and often unpredictable live streams, which feature loud outbursts, rage-baiting and humorous meme-worthy reactions to games like Fortnite and NBA 2K. His explosive growth in 2021 to 2022 was propelled by viral TikTok and YouTube short clips, leading to millions of subscribers and worldwide recognition as a top live streamer. Jamaican and Manchester City striker Khadija Shaw has won the Football Writers Association Women's Footballer of the Year award. Ms. Shaw is set to secure a third successive English Women's Super League Golden Boot after scoring 19 goals in 21 appearances, with her team winning the title with one league game to go. The 29-year-old, who joined City in 2021, is just one goal away from becoming the first player in Women's Super League history to score 20 or more goals in 3 different seasons. It's the second time the Jamaican international has won the Football Writers Association Award, having first done so for the 2023-2024 season. The association represents the interest of over 900 football journalists in England. The BBC also reported on Friday that Ms. Shaw looks set to leave City this summer after talks stalled over a new contract. Chelsea, who won 6 titles in a row before City's recent success, are favourites to sign Ms. Shaw, who previously had no desire to leave the club. But a reported breakdown in communication led to her exploring other options, and Chelsea is understood to have offered at least 1 more year on a contract that City were willing to agree to. Reports also suggest that Chelsea is ready to pay Shaw up to £1 million. And that's it for this edition of Jamaica Now, your weekly review of the big news stories. Send us your comments at onlinefeedback@gleanerjm.com. Follow us on X, formerly Twitter, and Instagram at Jamaica Gleaner, and on Facebook at Gleaner Jamaica. Like this video on our YouTube page, turn on your notifications, and subscribe today. I'm Jovan Johnson.